Oh, hi. You caught me in the prop room. I'm Marianne Mosley from the Pelican Players, and our Readers Theater is proud to present Old Time Radio. Today's selection is a French fairy tale called Happily Ever After. Enjoy the show.
Welcome. Tonight, Pelican Players, your local community theater for the Sun City Center, Ruskin, Wimauma, and surrounding area, has the pleasure of entertaining you with another show by the Pelican Players Radio Theater Troupe. The cast is made up of local residents. We will introduce the cast following tonight's show. And now, tonight's performance.
Pelican Players proudly presents a production of Happily Ever After. The cast of characters include King Frog, who loves lily pads more than courtrooms; Snow White, the spokeswoman for the princesses; Prince Charming A, the defendant; Rapunzel, the princess tired of long hair; Pia, the princess tired of being tested; Cinderella, the princess tired of cleaning; Aurora, the princess who's just plain tired.
Someday my prince will come. Someday I'll find my love, and away to his castle we'll go, to be happy forever. Oh no.
The time, 1 year after all the Happily Ever After story endings. The place, a courtroom in the kingdom of faraway lands. The story, 5 well-loved fairy tale princesses have had it. Married for 1 year, they are definitely not living happily ever after. Rapunzel is tired of her long hair. Pia is tired of peas under her mattresses or any other test. Cinderella is tired of cleaning, and Aurora of Sleeping Beauty fame is just tired, period. Snow White, leader of the princesses, helps them present their cases to King Frog, while Prince Charming tries to defend himself and his brothers. But why should the princesses wait for the king's decision? They take matters into their own hands to happily ever after.
I hereby call this special meeting of the Royal Princesses to order. I understand from this paper that you wish to unionize. Is that correct?
Yes.
Have you appointed a spokeswoman to speak for all of you?
Yes, I am that person, Your Highness, although we all wish to be heard.
Very well. Is there anyone here to represent the assorted Prince Charmings in all of this?
Ready, willing, and able, sire.
Excellent. Let's get started. Snow White, you may begin.
Thank you, sire. As you are aware, we have all had traumatic past. Poisoned apples, poisoned spinning wheels, forced imprisonment, evil stepmothers. Well, you get the picture. I, for one, cannot even look at an apple without getting the willies. We feel that our princes have taken advantage of our good nature so far, and so we are here to petition the court for more equality in the kingdom. Our princes seem to think that because they rescued us and took us to live in their castle, we should be endlessly grateful and expect nothing more out of life.
Well, Snow, or should I say Miss White, we all have our traumatic past to live down. I, for one, spent 10 years as a frog, something that my wife will not let me forget. Do you know that she constantly makes fun of my lily pads outside my castle? She thinks I should have a moat.
Well, that's all very interesting, I am sure, but we are not here to discuss you, sir.
All right, let's continue.
I would like you to hear Rapunzel's story first.
Your kingship, I have a simple request. All I would like from you is permission to get a haircut.
I have no problem with this request. What say you, Prince Charming A?
As you know, sire, Prince Charming B, Rapunzel's husband, is my brother. When he first met Rapunzel, she had long, flowing hair that had never been cut. That is why he fell in love with her. Ever since her evil mother cut her braids off, he has been waiting patiently for her hair to grow again. It's a simple request in exchange for rescuing her from the tower.
That seems a satisfactory answer. Rapunzel, your request must be denied.
But your lordship, he wants me to grow back my braids and use them as an elevator to get to the tower of the castle. He thinks there are too many stairs to climb. Do you have any idea how much that hurts? I suffered from migraines for years when my mother climbed up my braids. I was so grateful when she finally cut them off. Not to mention having to wash and dry that amount of hair. I do not want to live my life as a slave to a hairdo.
I see your point. Do you see what advantages there would be if we were all frogs? This problem would never crop up. I was so happy during my frog days. Oh, well, back to the business at hand. I will have to take this under advisement. I will rule later.
Thank you, your graciousness.
Well, let's forge on. There's a leapfrog tournament in the next kingdom that I'm judging in an hour. Who's next?
I am, you cute toad king.
That's King Frog to you. What's your problem?
I am sick of being tested, sire. I am sick of living my life under a microscope. All the whisperings behind my back. Is she a princess or isn't she? Well, I passed all the tests, didn't I? My education, bearing, and breeding bears me out. Sire, be honest. Am I not lovely and a joy to be around? Didn't I lie awake all night when my in-laws put a simple pea under 20 mattresses? Not to mention that sleeping 20 feet up in the air does not make for a restful night's sleep.
Put that all behind you. You are the princess now. You have been accepted.
That's what I thought. But just last week, my prince put a can of Coca-Cola in front of me along with a can of Pepsi. He then blindfolded me and ordered me to take the Pepsi challenge. He said that only a true princess could taste the difference. Now I ask you, is that supportive? I think not. You, sire, would never treat a princess with so little respect.
That is very true. What say you, Prince?
Your Highness, as you know, Pia's husband, Prince Charming C, is also my brother. You have no idea how many women came knocking at his door, claiming to be princesses. They had letters of introduction, an entourage of servants, were richly dressed, yet all were proven to be false. When Pia came in the rain that long ago night, she had nothing, no proof whatsoever, and was not dressed as befits a person of noble birth. In fact, she looked like something the cat would drag in. Yet my dear brother took her in. When she claimed to be a princess, it was only my sweet brother who believed her and arranged for her to be tested. After she passed the tests, he married her. Oh, what greater proof of his love and support is there? If for once in a blue moon he feels like having a little fun and giving her a test to amuse himself, well, what harm can that do?
I don't see the harm.
Now, Mr. King, you just mentioned that you tire of having to live down your frog path. It has not been easy being criticized and scorned, has it?
I also see your point. This, too, will have to be taken under advisement. Next, let's speed this up, please.
Oh, one last thing, sire. Not to influence your decision, of course, but leapfrog tournaments are my favorite thing in the whole world, and if ever another judge is needed, I would be thrilled to just leap right in.
That's very kind of you. Next.
I am next, sire. I am Cinderella. Prince Charming A is my husband. I feel a bit nervous testifying in front of him.
So noted. Please continue.
As you can see, I am well prepared to clean. I clean all day and half the night. I can't stop. I would like to, but I just can't. I would like the prince to hire some servants to take the burden off of me, but he refuses. He thinks that since I spent the first half of my life as a servant, that I should continue to do the same now. Well, he has fired all the servants and has left all maintenance of the castle up to me. It is 200,000 square feet of cobwebs and dirt. Well, the walls are rotting from moisture. I can't keep up with it, and I can't take a break. I walk in my sleep with a broom. I haven't left the castle since my wedding day, and in 1 year I haven't finished cleaning the first floor of the castle. This is worse than living with my stepmother.
This is a serious accusation. What say you, Prince?
I had to fire all the servants, Your Grace. None of their work satisfied her. One wouldn't do the windows. The floors never sparkled enough. Then she complained about the food. Not nutritious, not garnished properly. In a fit of anger, I told her I would fire them all and see if she could do a better job.
And what were the results?
She does a much better job, sire. Our meals have earned a 4-star rating. And the first floor of the castle, well, it smells like a pine forest. I can't wait until she gets started on the second floor. Why should I deny her use of her natural talents?
I quite agree. Cinderella, in your spare time, could you possibly help me out of my castle?
Oh, no.
It seems I will have to think on this also. Next.
I am next, sire. I am Aurora, although my critics call me Sleeping Beauty.
Ah, yes, I am familiar with your story. It is one of my favorites. What's your complaint?
Well, sire, after 100 years of sleeping, I am now an insomniac. I just can't sleep anymore.
Well, surely you can't blame that on your prince.
No, sire, that is not what I blame on the prince. It's the constant little jobs that he has me doing during the night so that I don't waste any time. Oh, he's constantly leaving me paperwork to finish up with little notes attached to it. Dear Aurora, if you happen to be up at 2 a.m., please finish my speech to the loyal subjects. Philip. Things like that. Oh, it seems he can't budget his time very well and sees fit to burden my already sleepless nights with more things to keep me awake. Oh, forgive me, sire. I am very tired.
Prince Charming A, do you have a defense?
Of course, sire. Prince Charming D, Aurora's husband, is also my brother. The burden of running a kingdom lies heavily with him, and he does not see the harm in letting his wife assist him when she is already awake and able.
Yes, I see. Another problem that would be solved if we were frogs. Frogs need very little sleep. I rule that... Aurora, I find it very disheartening to rule when the complainant is asleep. I really do have to go. Is there anything else?
There is still me, Your Highness.
Ah, yes, Miss White. Please proceed, quickly.
My prince, sire, would like to close down all the mines in this kingdom and switch the castle business to apple orchard. He is very concerned about the earth.
Admirable. I agree with your prince.
Well, Mr. Amphibian King, you must not know my story very well. My beloved drawers who rescued me in my time of need are miners. Their livelihoods would be destroyed. And if you had to close a If you had a close call with an apple, you would not appreciate it. Surrounded by millions of apples for the rest of your life. I can see it now. The castle will be filled with apple pie, apple cider, apple muffins, apple butter. Well, the list is endless.
What say you, Prince? I suppose her husband is also related to you.
No, sire. I believe I've run out of brothers. I'm at a loss here.
Very well. I will retire to my chambers and see if I can come up with an equitable compromise in the next 3 minutes. I am pressed for time. Prince, may I speak with you?
Certainly, sire.
Court is in recess.
The Pelican Players Radio Theater Troupe will conclude tonight's show in a moment. But first, Pelican Players is your local community theater in the greater Sun City Center, Ruskin, Wimauma, and surrounding area, celebrating its 40th year of providing live entertainment. Pelican Players consists of all volunteer local talent on stage and backstage, performing in our main stage, Readers Theater, cabaret singers, mystery theater, Make 'em Laugh comedy troupe, Twig Theater, and radio theater productions. Pelican Players is a 501c3 nonprofit organization supporting Hillsborough County students in the arts. To date, we have donated approximately $600,000 to this endeavor. We always welcome new members performing or helping behind the scenes. Even though headquartered out of Kings Point, you do not have to live in Kings Point to become a member or attend performances. For more information, visit our website, www.pelicanplayersscc.org. And now, Pelican Players Radio Theater continues with tonight's performance.
Well, how do you think we did?
I don't know. It could go either way. It doesn't help to have Sleeping Beauty here asleep. The king will not take us seriously. Will someone please wake her up?
That seems too cruel.
And it doesn't help our cause any to have you flirting with the king like a common subject.
Of course it helped. We are princesses who have been taught to get what we want through our beauty and charm. It's not like we were educated for a career or anything.
Besides, we asked for very simple things. It's not like we were demanding the right to vote.
The right to vote. What a marvelous idea.
Aurora, are you awake? What did you say?
I feel so refreshed. I just had the most wonderful idea. Imagine if all the women in the kingdom had the same rights as the men. Imagine if we could vote, if we could be queens instead of measly princesses. Why, I run my husband's business as it is, although my work is never acknowledged because I do it all in the middle of the night.
I would just love to have the same power as my prince. Why, then I could test him like crazy. I wonder how he would like that.
Well, I don't see how any of this could be accomplished. They refused our simple requests. Imagine how they would react to all of this.
We don't need their permission. That's the point. This kingdom is overrun with women. They all settled here hoping that one of their princes would rescue them. Our stories encourage them. Why, we could all band together and accomplish great things.
But I truly love my prince. I don't want to antagonize him. I just want him to be a bit more reasonable.
Well, have you ever sat down and talked to him?
Of course. I've gone on and on about the work around here.
I mean really talked, not complained. Have you thought about negotiating?
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
She means that although you need help, you are not really ready to truly hand over the job to someone else.
Well, of course I would, if I could train to help myself and show them how to get things done right.
Yes, but have you told him that?
Well, maybe not in so many words.
Princes are dense. You need so many words. And Rapunzel, have you ever sat down and talked to your prince?
I told him I wanted a haircut.
Yes, but did you tell him why? Did you tell him about your headaches because of years of people climbing up and down your braids like a tree trunk?
Not in those exact words.
We are going in circles here. The king will be back at any moment with his decision. Are we ready to accept what he says? Or is there more at stake here?
There is more at stake here.
Well, let us figure out what we want and provide a united front.
I want more say about my life.
Well, me
too.
too.
Yeah.
So here we are. Let us tell the king when he returns that we want a voice in what goes on here.
Let me break it to him.
All right.
All rise.
Well, the prince and I have had a heart-to-heart talk, and we believe that we have come to an amicable agreement to your demands.
Forget it, Frog. King.
Excuse me?
Sorry, but the rules have just changed. We want a voice in the kingdom. In short, we want the vote.
What? Excuse me? What did you say?
You heard her. We are no longer content to be mere figureheads. We want more to say in our lives.
I can hardly believe my ears. This is wonderful. The witch who put the spell on me assured me I could return to my frog state if ever there was a rebellion of the princesses in my kingdom. I never thought I would see it in my lifetime. Tell my wife she now rules the kingdom. She's the official queen. Onward to my lily ponds.
Well, my prince, any objections?
Objections? No, I'm relieved. Do you have any idea how difficult it is to run a kingdom and be charming at the same time? I need help, and so do my brothers.
Okay, Mr. Prince, can we talk?
Thank you for listening to our recreation of Happily Ever After, written by Claudia Haas and directed by Marianne Mosley. Martin Fossey did the sound and Ken Winter the sound effects. Our singer was Marianne Mosley. The cast of characters included announcer Stephanie Casey, King Jimmy Sapia, Snow White Mary McLafferty, Rapunzel Susie Potratz, Pia Marianne Mosley, the Prince Rick Swenson, Cinderella Barbara Boyle, and Aurora Joe Fossey.
Don't just wish upon a star. Take control of who you are. Then the life that you desire will come to you.
Continuing with our comedy presentation, Pelican Players is now pleased to bring you Daughter's Dilemma.
Why is she doing this to us? Sarah, where are you? For Pete's sakes, you live just down the block.
This better be good, because when you yelled, "I need you now," I left the house with food on the stove, my mother-in-law having a panic attack, and my husband yelling he wants his dinner in 10 minutes. Okay, Sophie, what is so important?
Oh, I'm sorry. I just panicked for a minute.
Well, what's wrong?
Oh, I got this letter in the mail today from Mom.
And what did she write that upset you so much?
She's moving.
Well, I'm not surprised at that. That condo is way too big for her since Dad died.
Sister dear, she's moving back here.
Sophie, no. You must be joking.
Now who's getting upset?
I almost didn't make it through a 2-week visit. Now she's moving back here? Are you sure? What exactly does the letter say? Did you check the address? Maybe it's someone else's mother.
Yes, I'm sure it's our mother. Read the letter yourself.
Dear number one daughter, good news. I'm moving back home. Will arrive any time soon. Don't tell your sister. I want to see the look of surprise on her face. Love, your mother, Sally. Sophie, let's move before she gets here.
Sarah, get a hold of yourself. Let's face it, Mom is moving back here whether we like it or not.
Well, I don't like it. Now, I've got to go home and tell Sam the good news.
Remember to hide the scotch bottle before you tell him.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's turn this around.
What do you mean?
You call Mom and tell her you received the letter, but you have a surprise for her. Tell her that you are planning to move to Florida in the very near future.
Why me? You're the one she wants to see look all surprised.
Come on, she knows Sam would never leave the city and his beloved Yankees.
I love this town too. I don't want to move.
You're not gonna move, silly. Just tell her that it would happen sometime in the next 6 months. If she thinks you'll move near her, she will just stay put.
It might work.
I'll bet that's Sam asking about his supper.
Mom, you're here.
Don't act so shocked. You knew I was coming.
But your letter said soon.
So, this isn't soon enough? Do me a favor. Go pay the cab driver. Oh, there's my Sarah.
Hi, Mom. How are you?
I'm wonderful. You don't look so hot. How's that worthless husband of yours?
Please don't start in on Sam. He does his best. He's a good husband and he loves our kids.
Sorry, I just call him the way I see him.
Good trip?
Yes, fine. How are the kids?
Good. They've grown a lot since you've seen them.
That's nice, but that's usually what happens. Are the children...
How was it when you...
Sorry, you go first.
Mom, is this all you brought with you?
Yes, I'm starting a new life here.
What about your things, your beautiful condo?
I put it up with an agency. If it sells, good. If not, you two fight over it when I'm gone.
Oh, Mom, don't start again. Sophie's got a surprise for you.
I do?
Remember, you were going to call her?
So, what is it, sweetheart?
Well,
She's moving to Florida.
What? Why?
To be near you.
Well, that problem is solved now.
Hello? Yes? This is the correct address. Did you say... Mom, it's for you.
Is this who I think it is? Is this my honey bun? Yes, about an hour ago. No problems. Yes, I'm anxious too. Okay, I'll see you then.
Mom, who's that?
A friend.
A friend from Florida?
Do we know him?
No. Saul was my first boyfriend way back when. After graduation, we went our separate ways. Shortly after that, I met your father. And, well, you know the rest.
What happened?
He just popped up out of the blue?
You could kind of say that. He lost his wife about 10 years ago. He was visiting his brother last winter. I can hardly believe it. I was sitting by the pool and there he was.
And?
And we kept company for a few days.
But, Mom, what do you know about him?
What's to know? He was my first love. You never forget someone if he's your first love. Oh, dear, look at the time. Saul will be here any minute.
You just got here and you're leaving so soon?
Oh, that must be him now. Well, girls, keep in touch.
Mom, why are you taking suitcases?
I'm moving in with Saul.
You're going to leave us?
Well, girls, I have to be honest with you. I love you, but You're not so interesting to be around. And so, he's fun. Oh, see you later. The cast included daughter Sophie, Mary Winter, daughter Sarah, Mary Ann Mosley, and mother Sally, Stephanie Casey, with Martin Fossey on sound and Ken Winter on sound effects. We thank you for listening.
It has been challenging during this COVID-19 era to find space for auditions, rehearsals, and recordings for these broadcasts. We want to thank the Sun City Center United Methodist Church, Fiore's Restaurant, St. John the Divine Episcopal Church, and Firehouse Cultural Center in helping us out during this time. Please be safe and stay well. And thanks again for listening. Good night.
You've been listening to Old Time Radio Classics right here on your community radio station, Sun Radio, 96.3 FM and WSCQFM.com. Be sure to tune in next week as we return to the radio archives and bring you another great program from radio yesteryear. Until next Thursday morning at 9 for the morning show and next Friday evening at 7. This is Vern wishing you a pleasant evening and good night, everybody.